guys? This is Tom Burkhardt from car-revs Daily in the 2017 Volkswagen GLI. So this Jetta GLI is really surprising. I'm really pleased to drive it. I haven't driven a GLI ever, so thrilled to be in one, and so impressed. Have been reviewing Volkswagens pretty intensively over the last couple months. So I've gotten to drive Golf R, Golf TSI, SEL with 180 horsepower, Golf SE with 150, I think, Jetta S with 152, and then of course the S3 at the top of this sort of platform sharing lineup. So really like starting to like the cars like quite a bit. Yeah, to make sure it's still recording. I really am enjoying the handling and the quality and the power from these little Volkswagens. So going out on our road course here to show how the Jetta GLI does in some twisty roads, which is very well. So 4-wheel independent suspension and 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 210 horsepower and a ton of torque. I don't have the exact specs, but I think it's 258 foot-pounds of torque, like right at 2,000 RPM, which is really excellent. And okay, we got our fisherman here. We're kind of slow. Hello. He's like, what the fuck? So you've got about 210 horsepower, which is really impressive in the cabin. Like on paper, that doesn't sound like much, but when you're driving the car, you realize that that is a very strong number, and performs especially well with this GLI and GTI exclusive. Of course, you can get on the Golf R and stuff, but the DSG gearbox, so which is something you cannot get in the Golf SEL with 180 horsepower. So that has a 6-speed Eisen torque converter automatic, whereas this is the 6-speed DSG with double clutch. So the shifts are literally instantaneous. So I'm in third, I'll go down to second. I mean, it's like right when you hit the paddle, it's already like down a couple gears. So it does exceptionally well in terms of like multi-downshifts. So we'll just show this right now. So I'm going up to 6th. So I'm in 6th right now. I'm coming up to a corner. I'll do boom, and I'm in 3rd, like up instantly, and I'm in 1st. Not much understeer in this car. It seems to break away pretty cleanly with just a little bit of front bias, which is really good for a front drive car in this performance hatch segment, or small compact performance car segment. So Jetta GLI's rivals include like the Subaru WRX, Focus ST, the VW GTI itself is a rival, Honda Civic Sport with its new turbo engines, and even things like Scion FRS, or Toyota 86 / Subaru BRZ are rivals for this car. The brakes do not feel very good. Okay, wait, they felt a little better right there. I think I activated some kind of emergency braking system. So anyway, so this car needs to drive really well and handle really well because it's up against some all-wheel drive cars in this segment. I mean, mainly the WRX, but GLI is pretty unique. I mean, it does offer some unique stuff, like versus that WRX that we mentioned. So you can get a WRX sedan with a sticker and automatic, but that automatic is the continuously variable Subaru automatic. So, which is like takes the joy like right out of the car. So, and then the Focus ST's double clutch is also like not very well liked. So this is really one of the only compact performance cars that you can get with like a really great automatic transmission. I mean, things like the BRZ are still running a 6-speed torque converter automatic. Civic Sport, CVT, same deal. So GLI is pretty unique in that offering, and for how good a value it is. This car is terrific value. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Do a little more driving stuff. Second point I want to discuss about the GLI are its like exterior and interior upgrades versus some of the other Jettas, which are pretty comprehensive. Little stuff in the Jettas that you think that I thought was like just not available on Jettas when I was in that base one. I mean, all that stuff is in here. So you've got a little bit more of a high quality feel. Something is wrong with the back brake. 2017 Jetta GLI. Just had to stop for a minute because our enthusiastic driving was creating some smoke in the rear brakes, which is pretty not ideal, because this, I mean, I don't consider this like too hard driving, but this car is like brand new. It has just over 1,000 miles on it, so it might not be fully broken in, so we'll give it a pass there on the rear brake smoke. You do in the GLI have red accented details all around, like you know, red piping here, all around the cabin, red stitching for this super compact steering wheel with flat bottom, and really, really nice leather wrap. And I've been driving just in S mode. So those red accents continue on the outside, so they're in the lower grille there in the front, and then also the brake calipers are painted red for this GLI, which is pretty nice. The car has great manners at high speed. This transmission is a real gem. I absolutely love it. Let's see if it'll get me first. Still in second, but good pull, good feel coming around the corner. Not really just a good handling feel. The independent suspension all around is a big deal for Jetta, because Jetta GLI, because I don't think the other Jettas have an independent rear end, so that's a little different. And you know, just tons of upgrades to what you thought the Jetta was. Like, you know, little like electrochromic mirror, for example, the Fender stereo. So nice. It gave me plenty of warning when it was about to lose grip from the front end, and then just back off the accelerator a little bit, and the tail balances out very nicely. The Fender stereo system replaces the 4-speaker unit in the base Jetta. We've got nav, CarPlay, and satellite radio, as well as Android Auto, and you know, pretty good tech in general. No like active safety stuff on this $30,000 GLI, but I think it is available as an option. But we do have like the blind spot monitoring system, which is really nice, and it's just nice to have in all cars. So not having to pay a ton for it is really a big advantage. So we've been driving in S mode this whole time. One difference between the Jetta GLI and the Golf R is that we don't have like dedicated modes, like drive modes. So we just have the single drive mode, but we can go from either D or into S. And S really engages a much sportier gearbox program that has much faster kickdown. I'm gonna give this gentleman in front of us a little bit more room so we can have space to run. But the S mode is really where it's at, because it makes the car feel so much sportier. And the steering is always really great, so it doesn't need tweaking there. And no active shocks. Also a difference versus the Golf R. I can feel that kick down. So like from just going really slow. Nice digital speedometer here too, by the way. So like we're going 4 miles an hour, full throttle. It wasn't quite as impressive in that instance, but in general, the transmission is fantastically well behaved, and always makes this car feel fast. It does feel fast. GLI times to 60 are about 5.7 to 5.9 seconds with this DSG automatic, and it definitely feels it. This is a very rapid car, and one that launches really cleanly. We tried to force it into that brake torque launch before and got a little bit of axle tramp, but nothing major. In general, the car is really hooked up. It's really hooked up and launches like a champ. So this GLI itself is terrific value. So it does. So we've got $28,900 is its entry price, and no cost options. Even the transmission is no charge. So with the $820 delivery fee, we're just up to $29,815. So that is your all-in price for this Jetta, and it feels definitely worth it. And for this engine and transmission, our big selling points. Okay, a little more axle tramp there too. So maybe that might be a characteristic of the car that I don't love. Would like it to be able to break its wheels, you know, away pretty cleanly. Of course, it could be this asphalt surface, because I have done a couple other instances where it has broken away cleanly, and it'll even actually upshift while it still doesn't have grip, which is how you know you're in a really fun car. So other GLI upgrades for this $30,000 price, which is like, you know, 8 or 9 grand more than what it is for the cheapest Jettas. You get a big upgrade outside, so it has a lowered sport suspension, and then so we'll give you first and stuff like that. So lowered sport suspension, and then and totally unique front end with really extensive venting and some like some gills and intakes on the edges that are pretty cool. Very, very cool LED running lights, standard on GLI and many Jettas for 17. And this model still runs like halogens for the low and high beams, like halogen reflector units, as well as the fogs. So like there, it was really good. So it even upshifted a second while we were still peeling out, which is a great trade for, you know, that's what you want your car to do, because that's how it'll be fast. But it'll rev right up to it's like 6,800 RPM, red line, and the shifts are instantaneous. With any manual transmission, especially even in the Golf R, had a hard time making that 1-2 shift feel quick. As fast as I could try to do it with my feet, it just didn't feel very quick. And that was definitely a big factor in that car being so much slower than the DSG Golf R, the Golf R manual, I should say. Whereas this car upshifts like a champ, keeps pulling, keeps the car on boost, and keeps it really fun and fast. And that's what really helps this car to, in my opinion, be much more engaging than some of the rivals we mentioned. Bar the Focus ST. The Focus ST does launch really, really well. But Jetta GLI offers, you know, offers some really unique place in the market. So other exterior upgrades, besides the new front bumper, you get special alloys, you get those red painted calipers, and see, just watch, like low speed dynamic stuff is awesome. This car just like pulls like a little rabid dog. Big wheels, which are nice. They would really look a lot better if they were painted. They're bright silver in this GLI, but not a big deal. And then you have like special sill extensions and a little bit of a like minor body kit for the sills and then the tail, where it just sort of adds a little bit of ground effect aero, like a little width to those lower surfaces. And then finally we have LED tail lights and brake lights, which are unique to the GLI, if I'm not mistaken, within the Jetta range. The rest of the Jetties just use like regular bulbs, whereas this one is these are full LEDs with like a nice unique design, and then sort of like horizontal slats. Looks kind of like the new Porsche LED style, which is, I'm sure, deliberate. So really very, very speedy and very engaging, but also pretty refined. I mean, you have to be like up past, you know, well past legal speeds for it to get any wind bluster. The steering stays flawless. Just the overall car drives really, really well, like a high performance special should. But just happens to have a price that's only 30 grand, which is great. This is all really good. And then a little disorganized, but the final exterior tweak is a body color rear spoiler atop the trunk lid. So that is really cool. I'm a big fan of the car. I think it looks like, it's kind of like a Q car these days, because it doesn't, you know, when you see it just on the road, or maybe when cops would see it, it might not look as fast as it really is. But this is a car that'll let you get away with a lot of stuff without really shouting from the rooftops that you're up to a sporting mission. Yeah, that 1-2 shift is dynamite. One of the best things about this car is definitely the DSG automatic. I'm a huge fan, and there's no other way to get this transmission for anywhere near these prices. I mean, this is the same transmission that does exceptional work in the Audi S3 that costs literally $22,000 more than this Jetta GLI for essentially the same roominess and a lot of the same drive manners. So that's a huge vote of confidence and something that really sets GLI apart for 17. So really good car, big fan. The price is definitely priced right. You know, Volkswagen is still upset about all of their engine drama, but for me, it's been great because it's good. We're still recording because it's meant that I've gotten to drive these cars. Before, I really didn't get to drive Volkswagens very often, so I'm really pleased, and I hope that you like the video. The one things I would say, like in terms of like room for improvement in the Jetta, the nav system, like although very good these days, and with really easy connections via Bluetooth or USB for CarPlay and all that stuff. So you got like USB aux in, and then 12-volt port here, another 12-volt port in the back of the armrest for the back seaters, and other good stuff. But the one point is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the resolution is just kind of bad, and it's hard to pick a distance that you want to see. Like you've either got like the rocket level, or like auto, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a way to adjust it, some other way to see different levels of detail in the zoom, but I haven't found it. And then it would also be nice if there was like a 3D graphic. But then again, like every nav system I've been in since I drove that Audi S3 with its Google Earth that takes up the whole, that can take up the whole gauge cluster, is like, it's like, it doesn't even compare. They all just look like old, super old-fashioned maps. So this GLI, you know, it obviously doesn't have that Audi's level of stuff, but you know, neither does Hyundai Genesis or the new Explorers, is pretty bad too. Many of those cars don't have that, so. But just noting it as a potential area for improvement. And then, you know, dash, like quality feels really good, but there's some stuff, like this is soft and has the same textured effect, but then it goes hard. So it's still soft. It's soft for the whole upper dashboard, but like the doors are really hard, and this piece becomes, you know, pretty firm. So there's some quality stuff that they can improve in here. But hey, you know, for the price and keeping this under $30,000, we take our hats off to you, Volkswagen. GLI, super fun, very, very fast. A car in the 5s for a 20 price in the 20s is stellar. So you should definitely drive this car before you pick one of those other junior sports cars, or even sports coupes like the Toyota 86 or Scion BRZ, or even like a base Mustang. I mean, this car for a lot of people is going to be just as fun and potentially quicker, but also just really, really practical and mature. You know, you don't look like a boy racer in traffic, but you sure can drive like one. We'll see you guys next time. This is Tom Burkhardt from Car-Revs Daily in the 2017 Volkswagen Jetta GLI.